that one.
Mm. I'm not hip.
I mean, I usually don't know the songs y'all be singing. Unless it's Hot Boy or Gator Boots. Then I'm hip.
I got everything I want in my life. Gator boots, a bit of Gucci suit with the Gucci suit. Ooh, ooh.
Cause I'm still fly.
I'm still fly.
We got King Mitty via LA.
Oh,
One into the two into the
two into the three
into the. Then you got Joey.
So these niggas can't breathe when I come through. Some shoes gotta be 20, man. If you don't even play, they can't.
You know what? You right.
He's looking when they grasp me, they can't. Okay, I don't really know the words.
That much was obvious. It's all good. It's a week for your energy, bro.
Thank you. Got y'all on the moon with me.
Giving the people what they want.
We are the Africanist. This is Travel Talk. Welcome to another week here with us. Big shout out to everybody who tuned in, reposted, listened, commented to Black Women of the Law. I don't know. Y'all, I was looking at the numbers just before we started. Y'all ran up them Spotify numbers. It's crazy. So much appreciate to y'all. Fellas, y'all got anything y'all want to contribute, or say before we proceed?
Got a lot of that's all.
Yeah, I definitely got, I actually had somebody hit me up today on the pod. Like, it was a dope pod. They say, it was filled with, a lot of educational, informative, as well as some laughter. They got some chuckle out of it. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to the two queens we had on. Shout out to the Africanist, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dr. Dizzle, because, Shorty says, but it is what it is.
I have no idea what that means.
And shout out to Patrick Mahomes. God damn, let me hold $1, nigga. Shit.
Yo, I ain't watched football in a minute, so I'm like, what does this nigga do that's different? That I know he won the chip, but
he
I'm
won
like,
the chip.
damn,
He won Super Bowl. He won MVP, Super Bowl MVP. Bruh, he running the league right now.
Did he win the league MVP? He got league
MVP too?
Last year, not this year.
Okay.
So I'd be like, what team? Yeah.
He's young. He's like his third year.
His third year. Yeah, so he got that $500 million.
But do y'all think he can continue that?
For now until unless he get hurt.
The contract is 10 years, so I'm pretty sure they have their out within 5.
He's gonna get. He's gonna get better.
So he's probably gonna have like 2 years. It's probably gonna be like 200 mil guaranteed, 300.
But keep
this
in mind. Like great quarterbacks play for damn near 16, 18 years. Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Brady is in like 20 something. He's only played 3 years, so 3 plus 10 is just 13. Like, the cap goes up each year, so at some point that deal is gonna be good for them because you know what I'm saying.
They're gonna take the financial hit now, and then they're gonna steal from him.
Exactly.
But what's it called? NFL money not all the way guaranteed though.
Yeah,
so I know he's not gonna see all of that.
It's probably like somewhere in the ballpark of like 200 to 250 guaranteed.
When you a quarterback, because you ain't getting cut, he getting all his money.
It's still incentive laden on some of them.
Yeah, 100%.
Some of them,
I'm telling you, it's probably going to be 200 to 250.
Yeah, the 450.
The rest is
450 is what he got. The 5 he can get up to 503 in incentives, which is still crazy.
Okay. Well,
sheesh.
And back in the days, it would be like 80% incentives, 30, 20, and 20%.
Playing for the Kansas City Chiefs, they're not changing their name.
Nah, they might. They gonna, because Cleveland Indians already talking about changing their name. So up next Up next will be the Chiefs and the Braves.
Yep.
All the Seminoles, bro.
Yeah, the Seminoles too.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Quite a bit there. But we do have a guest here with us today. Artist.
The bro, man.
Artist in the dual sense, not just on the one sense in terms of musically, but artist in the dual sense. One half of the Stuck in the Middle podcast. I don't know if I'm calling him Reflex or I am Reflex. I don't know.
Reflex is fine. Reflex is fine.
We have Reflex from Stuck in the Middle podcast, guys. Round of applause for this young man.
Yeah. Round of applause.
Welcome back, bro.
Baby, make that clap. appreciate y'all having me, man. How y'all feeling? This is dope, man. This is dope. Last time we was on, we were in the studio. It was all laughs and jokes. That was dope. That was
Yeah, man.
It's still about to be laughs and jokes, man.
I trust you.
Quick said you're one half of Stuck in the Middle, but I mean, from what I see, it looks like you guys sort of have. I mean, you can explain it. Sounds like you guys sort of have like an umbrella now.
Yeah.
Other different shows.
Yeah. Stuck in it has evolved. It's like an umbrella now, yo. Like, you know, I think that one half of Stuck in Middle will be like, you know, saying like the OGs as far as like my brother Uncle AK and me, who are like, you know, saying like the founders, the original founders. But Stuck, it's AK been working, man. He been making it happen. Like we got
that's the new host.
Check this out. I was literally listening to Reflex talk, and all of a sudden, all of y'all froze, and I was just looking. I'm like, yo, my Wi-Fi didn't cut off, nothing went off, and y'all was just frozen. And all of a sudden, I came back, started laughing. So
Is it raining on your side?
It was raining pretty bad earlier.
for the Nelly.
Yeah, cause it's raining on my end, so I think it's
bruh,
windy.
You gonna pull a Nelly? I ain't never heard nowhere rain stop a 5G Wi-Fi, bro.
This is the first.
That's why you gotta come enjoy this beautiful weed and weather, man.
we don't all have California money.
You don't need Cali money, man. That it's in the mind. It's in the mind, baby.
Am I right? I don't.
Okay.
Reflex, go ahead with what you.
Not yet, but yeah. So we have the Mabanya podcast too, which is hosted by two phenomenal, beautiful ladies. They are crazy smart, man. Lala and Frida.
Hold on, you gotta go back because the audio didn't catch. So
okay.
I know you're speaking on the umbrella, so you have to continue from the umbrella. And by the way, all of this is being kept in the podcast, so I'm not editing it out. So continue.
Yeah. So for people who are familiar, Stuck in the Middle is a platform for entrepreneurs, innovators, creators of African descent, and we just host, you know what I'm saying, like entrepreneurs, you know, the dope people like the Africanists. Like we've had you on the podcast, and we just, you know what I'm saying, talk on experiences, ideas, you know what I'm saying, like just you know, how we can break the mold, how we can break barriers. And it has become an umbrella now where we discuss different topics that affect us. And so now we have, you know, my Mbanya podcast, which is hosted by two phenomenal ladies. We have Now You Know podcast, which is hosted by, you know, three gentlemen. And they are all over the world. One is in Baltimore, one is in, I think, Chicago, and another one in Cali. And then we have the Palm Wine Central, which is like just the most ratchet of ratchet podcasts by Africans you can find out there. So I don't even listen to that. I'm supposed to support, but I listened to the first two episodes and I'm like, yeah, this brothers, I can't stomach this conversation. So if that's your prerogative, you know, go ahead and support that.
Sound like my kind of show.
Yeah. Ain't mine, not me.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Did my Banya girls? Me and Femi have had. We've been on one of y'all.
You about to say red table talk? Couch talk.
Yeah.
They definitely some sharp ladies, bro.
Yeah, Lala and Frida, they don't play, man. If you step around there, you got to know your stuff. They're some sharp ladies.
Oh, and me and Lala, we had our backs booked. Don't sit back.
But the Africanist comes in peace, so it was all love, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Big thing.
Okay. So, I was saying earlier I think the audio caught it, but the reason why you explained that essentially is because I had called you on half of the Stuck in the Middle podcast, and you were just elaborating on, the growth within the past 2 years. Of the infrastructure. You have grown yourself, but before we get into how you've grown into an author, we were discussing prior to coming onto the pod about pretty much how everybody's outside and pretty much things are open. So for those who don't know, the DMV is I believe phase 50, phase 2, 50% open. I believe New York started phase 3 today. So things are opening and things are going on track. And in terms of the phases that they have set, I think even DC is 50% open now too. How do you feel?
Man, Larry Hogan need to slow down. I think California just, and a couple other states just went back into like quarantine lockdown. I think we're not ready. I was just watching a video on Twitter, man, like in Houston, this dude's out here having orgies, bro, pool parties.
That was ATL.
Oh yeah, that was ATL. My bad. I'm like, bro, like, fam.
Hey, that party looked fun. Hey, that party looked fun. I ain't
would you be out there?
I know.
Hell no. I'd be in a corner. I'd be in a corner by myself.
Yeah, we see you would be there.
Nah, I ain't going. I would not touch that party with a 50-foot pole, bro. I ain't going nowhere near that joint.
Quickly, we DJ the party.
Bro, what if they offered you 5 bands? Would you DJ?
I'm not a DJ, so.
Sure.
10 bands.
Nah, you can stop at 5.
I'll do it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can stop at 5.
Yeah, I make it like if it's in the pretenses of like people there have COVID for sure, I'm not risking my life for 5 bands.
I mean, you wouldn't know though. But for me,
I'm taking it under the assumption that that Rona is rampant right now, and they are elevated. I'm not risking my life for 5 bands. That's what I'm gonna pay for 1 day of my hospital bill.
That ventilator bill is about, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
I thought the bill is free. It's free Rona. Isn't that? Like when
the hospitals, you don't want to go to the hospital right now, bro.
I
heard a story. Dude broke his leg. He was like a heavyset dude, pre-existing, whatever. He was quarantining for real, like staying in the house, all that. He broke his leg, went to the hospital, caught the Rona,
and died
in that joint. So he got switched out from whatever to the intensive care unit because of catching Rona there. Boom, passed away, bro. Another dude I know had something like a mini stroke or something like that, bro. And the ambulance came and checked him out, and they were like, the risk if we take you to the hospital, because there's a lot of corona patients rolling in right now, it's going to be high. He stayed home, bro. Let that sink in.
Oh yeah, because
it was a very mild one.
Because
let that sink in.
Because when you have a stroke, that's like you're compromised. So if you catch a Rona and you got a stroke, you're gonna die.
Exactly.
And, I was listening to the New York Times today, and they were talking about how at first they thought the Rona was like a respiratory thing. Now they're saying it might even attack blood vessels and stuff like that. That's why you have people with the discoloration of their fingertips and their legs and stuff like that. And I was like, shit, there's still so much shit that niggas don't know about this disease that it's
exactly
scary.
Exactly. It's the unknown stuff.
Man, and now they're talking about some hand sanitizers are not safe to use. It's like,
man, I'm gonna keep using my sanitizer. I don't know about
Riflex. What do you mean safe for what sanitizer?
I just wash my hands, man.
The FDA just put out a list of unsafe brands of hand sanitizers that damage into the skin.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
I know hand sanitizers make my hand ashy, but I trust it. So
yeah,
I take an ashy right hand over left lung. not a game on here.
Corona is crazy, man. But now, well, Maryland, I don't know, man. I think with the hot weather, nobody's really like, you know what I'm saying, trying here, stay at home. It's just gonna have to be like, you know what I'm saying, take care of your chickens. Or what my man Beastmo say, take care of your chickens.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, he said, I forgot what he said.
Nah, I think that's what he said. But, bruh, I don't care if it's hot, yo. Like, y'all can't be this stupid, Mo.
Yeah,
and you see, I use Mo. Because I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I get it, man. Trust me, it's summertime. We all like to have fun. Africanist, we throw events normally. You know what I'm saying? We probably be doing sipping paint somewhere.
Yeah, man.
Bruh, y'all just gotta, like they like to say nowadays, read the room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all gotta realize hella people have caught this and hella people have died. So, like, bruh, I don't care if it's hot. All these babes every weekend picnic.
So
man,
here's the scary thing about the numbers resurging right now. Think back to how much they were telling us that, it's hard to pass it in the heat. It's hard to pass it in the sun or whatever.
Exactly.
Look at how the virus is moving, bro. We're in July.
Yeah,
how soon is it going to start getting cold again? Fall, all that flu season. That means the Rona going to get worse when it's cold? Bruh. Stay home. Everybody. If your job lets you stay home, you can miss that party, bruh.
Exactly. I mean, shoot. Even, bruh, any job right now that's telling me, because I just been getting bombarded with job
contractors.
Yeah, like, bruh, any job that even hints at saying I need to come, I tell them skedaddle. What?
Remote 100%.
100%. I'm not leaving my house, bruh. Like,
early.
These people must be stupid. Like,
yeah, man.
So, you still do
uncomfortable.
Do I still do music? Music has been on a long pause because I had to focus on writing my debut novel. But I had, in promoting the book, I had a chance to do, especially with, we talking about Corona, where I did something different, which I did like YouTube concerts live from my studio where I performed live on YouTube actually.
And that's exactly why I asked you. I was curious.
Yeah, so yeah, it was dope, man. People like Tory Lanez were able to do it. It's dope because like you get. So I put my Cash App like in the description, and people support directly. That way, and it's just a way to like, connect, still stay connected with the people, and it's different. I'm blessed to have the technology to be able to do it. Like performing live on stage, or like feeling, reading the room, so to speak, and like getting that energy and performing by yourself in front of like a camera. It's definitely two different beasts, but man, it was fun. I did about 4 times, like a live concert from my house. I even performed to Cameroon. I'm from Cameroon, and on one of the biggest platforms. Shout out
Oh my goodness.
to me performing on the computer. So, that was like kind of like a dream come true. I always wanted to go home and perform. So, so even be able to do it virtually was like dope. But music is like on a long hiatus right now. That's how, finish the book, and I'm like doing like kind of like a quote unquote tour, promoting the book right now.
So speaking of the book, is your debut novel?
On the book.
Huh?
No, I was saying congrats on the book.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
So your debut, according to your Instagram, this is where I'm pulling this information from.
Receipts.
Riflex's debut novel is a heart-wrenching tale of the audacity of love and its daring to bend the callous hands of tribalism towards its destiny. I'm not going to lie, it sounds like a lot of Shakespeare, but I'm going to continue. This beautifully crafted story juxtaposes, the conflicts and confines of ethnic purity against the influence of desire and fate.
Yeah.
I don't know who did that. Jason McQueen.
Yeah, Jason McQuine. That's my guy. Jason.
Creator and curator of the One Blood Project. So,
yes, sir.
A book. First off, why?
Man, you know, like I think the content and the story of the book was so needed and relevant that, you know, as an artist who is gifted with words, gifted with writing, I thought doing a musical project about what I talk about in the book, which is tribalism and long distance relationship, would not have reached the audience that I really wanted to reach, which is the older generation, the generation African generation, or just the older generation in general that I wanted to reach. So I thought that my music would reach that generation. And I also wanted to put in a book as opposed to a blog, which, you know, people might read it for, you know, a couple minutes and then comment or share it and they falls flat, never remember it. So I wanted to put it somewhere where the next generation can come up to it, you know what I'm saying, something that can last the test of time. So the book, you know what I'm saying, like it touches on tribalism, like I said, and long distance relationship is very relevant, it's very contemporary, something that not only touches the African demographic, but also the Indian demographic and the Asian demographic. So I just wanted to put it in a book and be able to reach those, you know what I'm saying, cross-culture relationships, cross-culture, you know, demographics. And I think I made a wise decision and have been successful in that. And I'm grateful that, you know what I'm saying, like the people that advised me, pushed me towards that conclusion. And it's always been something that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? I started doing music by writing poetry. I used to write poems, you know what I'm saying, for people. Back in Cameroon growing up, I used to write poems. Like growing up, the way to get girls was through poetry. If you couldn't woo a girl, if you couldn't like spit, if you couldn't like talk to a girl, she won't hear it, you know what I'm saying? So I would tell my dudes, you know what I'm saying, coming up, like how to talk to a girl. And you know what I'm saying, like writing has always been my thing. So to be able to write a book now was just a culmination of like God's, you know what I'm saying, like blessing of my skill and my talent. So I'm just blessed to be able to, you know what I'm saying, finally have a debut novel, and definitely looking forward to writing this one down and definitely doing it again.
So you are Mac Daddy. That's what you don't say that all stuck in the middle.
Biggie.
Heavy.
Baby, do you what?
Yeah, man. Something like that.
But no, I like the conversation about cross-cultural relationships. That's something we've talked about discussing here on the pod, but we never got around to it. The reason why is because people always talk about interracial relationships and stuff, and I don't like that. And the reason why is because when people talk about interracial relationships, they immediately think about, black person, white person, Asian person, a white person. Why do Anglo-Saxons have to be the barometer, right? Mm-hmm. There's so many more complex things and intricacies when you're talking about cross-culturalism. Mm-hmm. It can be between tribes. It can be from Cameroon to Nigeria. It can be from Ghana to Sierra Leone, right?
Facts.
We're all one people, and we acknowledge that, right? But it's still a very important conversation that we have to have. So let's stop putting, us black and, you dating a white girl or whatever, a white guy on the pedestal. Nah, there's so many more complex conversations to be had.
100%. So I wanted to know why you called the book No Such Thing as Halfway.
Yeah, man. Like I had a pool of like 22 titles when I was writing. It took me about 2.5 years to write. I had a pool of about 22 titles, you know what I'm saying? Like that as I was writing and inspiration was hitting me, I was just jotting it down. And it eventually came down to, you know what I'm saying, like 4 finalists and then eventually 2. And it was between If I Let Go and No Such Thing as Halfway. And If I Let Go just sounded like a song by a boy band. I was like, I ain't go with that. And one day I was riding around, you know what I'm saying, I was listening to Shook One's It's No Such Thing as Halfway Crooks. You know what I'm saying? And like, if you read chapter 7 in the book, it talks about, you know what I'm saying, like having a, you know what I'm saying, I just actually watched a movie on Disney Plus called Free Solo, which is about the guy who climbed El Capitano with no ropes, no nothing. And he was like, he did it because of that warrior mentality. And that's something that I'm cultivating. I've always been cultivating in my life. Like if you're going to do something, especially fight for something so good and so tangible as love, which is what the book is about. It's about love. It's about a relationship. You got to have a warrior's mentality because it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Like even just in the Igbo, Yoruba culture, you know what I'm saying? Like cross marrying or cross dating. And, you know what I'm saying? The relationship that I had, which inspired 60% inspired the book, was the Cameroon Ghanaian relationship. It's like, you know what I mean? Like it was so hard. I'm talking verbal, physical, emotional abuse and threats. And so you gotta have tough skin. You gotta have that warrior's mentality to go all the way. So going halfway is really not, gonna cut it. And so that's why I went with the title, No Such Thing as Halfway. And I really just thought it was going to sell more books. And I was right. No Such Thing as Halfway really is like, dang, why that title? And some people bought it just straight off the strength of the name. And yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. You need to help me with my own title, my brother.
Wait, let's go back. So tell us about this wicked babe that inspired this book.
No, he took it all the way there, bro.
Let's get into the juicy stuff. How wicked and what kind of witch was this bitch?
Yeah. And I would not call her or her people witch, but now it was definitely a very difficult situation, man. Like it's one of those things where you meet somebody, and to preface, the book is 60% based on facts and 40% fiction. I just borrow because, like I said, it's something that I personally went through, and I know just in my zip code alone, over 7 people, personal friends who are going through, you know what I'm saying? So I just tapped into other people's stories. But personally, man, it was just one of those situations where you meet somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all start kicking it and, you know what I'm saying? Like you just like, yo, this person is really dope. I wouldn't build something long with them. And we knew each other for a total of 8 years, talked for 3 years as friends, got to, you know what I'm saying? Like really dig each other and dated long distance for 5 years. And those 5 years are one of the hardest times.
Like another state, or she was in another?
She lived in Toronto, bro. She lived in Toronto, and I lived here. Yeah, so I'm talking out of the country.
Is that why you are performing in Canada?
Partially, you know what I'm saying? Partially. But yeah, I'm grateful for that relationship too, because I met some dope people out there, man, and still, you know what I'm saying, I value and hold those relationships. Even the relationship, you know what I'm saying, the young lady, and just, you know, some family got involved, you know what I'm saying, we finally met family. It was just like, yeah, nah, you ain't finna date him because he's from another place. We only want you to date from Ghana, from where we're from. And you know what I'm saying, like that just got really tough. And, you know what I'm saying, it's just like, why can't, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I was going to ask, now, you said family got involved. So did y'all get to the point where y'all was thinking about settling down with each other? Like marriage?
Yeah.
Because okay. So y'all don't believe in kicking y'all families out?
Hold on. Are you asking Reflex or are you asking me? Yeah.
Nah, Reflex.
Okay.
Yeah, man, you know, it's different. You know, it's different for other people as far as the dynamic of how you go about, you know, handling your relationship. Some people are just like, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do. Y'all can come around in the future, you know, and some people just believe, hey, when we start having kids, the family is going to come around. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's different for other people. You just like the situation, but it always comes down to that cross-cultural and you know, animosity and differences in the approval. And I think with divorce, with divorce being such a high percentage of 50, one of the factors of it contributing to that is family. You know, the family dynamic. You can say what you want. If your family is not happy with your situation, if your family is not involved, it's really good down the road. It's really gonna get tough. And you know what I'm saying, we just come from at least let me speak from my particular situation, from two dynamics where family was such a valuable thing. And so having that approval, having that, you know, celebration, having that unity was so important. And you know what I'm saying, our principles also just, you know, demanded that. But once, you know, there was that denial, it just made it all the more difficult, especially on her part. And it also, you know, when you have the outside influence, reveals a lot of things and just puts a wedge between the people. And that's the same with everybody that I've spoken to when I was doing research for the book. And you just find yourself just growing apart. And that's where that warrior's mentality comes in, right? It's like, are you going to fight for it? Or are you going to, you know what I'm saying, just say, hey, let's walk away from this and pursue each other. Two different people.
How long ago was the breakup?
That's about coming on 3 years now.
So was this book?
So you chose not to fight.
What'd you say?
I said, so you chose not to fight for it.
I fought for it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I definitely did. But if you, I don't want to give too much of the book, but it's definitely some fiction and exaggeration in it. You know, so I definitely fought for it. But at the end of the day, that wasn't the sole factor on why we had a falling out. Definitely was different factors. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know, I wouldn't necessarily speak on, but I definitely I would leave. You know, it's in the readers of the book to go find out, and I'm not spoil it too much. But yeah, man, I just found myself, to say it wasn't gonna work out, and yeah, I took the all that way route, and I just exited stage left.
I totally understand what you're saying, because there was actually a story that I know personally. I don't think I've ever spoken about it on this podcast, but there was a wedding I was slated to do.
Mm-hmm.
The person got engaged. It was all over social media. Yada yada yada. They were from the same tribe, but from different states within that tribe. I guess that's how they distinguish people.
That's deep though, right?
Yeah, and
it gets very deep, bro.
And the mom was like,
"Wait, different states in Ghana, right?"
No. This is another African country. I'm not going to disclose.
Oh,
it can happen in Ghana too.
But it can happen in Ghana. I know for
I'm just saying, like.
For a fact, right now,
not in the States, not in the U.S.
No, not in the U.S. This is an African country, but I can tell you right now for a fact.
It gotta be Nigeria, right? Because we kind of don't use
probably
states.
is.
Y'all use
right now, as of right now, today. If any Ghanaian man that's Ashanti or Fancy, if you're to tell your parents that you plan on marrying an LA girl, they're gonna look at you funny.
Yeah.
Swear to God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Back to the story I was saying, I was slated to DJ this wedding. They're from the same tribe, different states or whatever. I don't know how they differentiate it. The mom of the groom said no when it was time to do like the whole breakdown, because she had beef with the other state or whatever the case may be. So the whole marriage, the whole union, gone.
Sheesh.
Next year, that guy got married. Whole wedding, everything like this within a calendar.
Wait,
to a new baby.
Wait, the girl got married to a new person?
The who?
Oh, the dude got married to a whole new baby.
Whole new girl within the next calendar year.
That's another thing.
I think I might know who you talking about.
Shorty married too. Shorty married too with a kid now.
Got married too, and she got a kid too, for sure.
That's another thing too. I was gonna say African. That's another thing.
So was there?
That's another thing with tribalism, is that it brings about the I don't want to say problem, because for some people it works out. It brings about the notion of arranged marriages, because it's like, we don't want you to marry that person, we got somebody for you. And that's where you find yourself, people, like they break up because their family influenced it from something that they genuinely really was into and pursued, and really, like we're 100% with, boom, they married 2 months down the road or so, because it's most likely, I wouldn't say it's a blanket statement or it's the same for everybody. It was true for everybody, but it's like, we got something for you, and it's arranged. For some people, it works out. For some people, they're not really into it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I think you hit it on the head earlier, Reflex, that for everybody is different. But I know for me, man, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna do what I want, But I also understand that's not everybody, and that don't mean mine is right or theirs is wrong. Right. Each person has their own values, or how they live their life, and what's priority and what's important to them. But
Facts.
For me, I just can't, with my mindset, I feel like, again, like I said, I'm not saying mine is right or theirs is wrong, but like, this is my damn life. Like, if you my family, I'm not saying you shouldn't have your views, but my nigga, if I make my choice, support me. Like, support me.
Right.
This is my babe. If we fail, be like, you don't even gotta say I told you so, but going forward, hopefully I won't try to do the same thing twice. If I try to do it again, then you can be like, hey, remember last time. But yo, it's my damn life. Like, bro, we are all individuals. When I die, y'all not gonna be in a casket with me. Like when
you married and you in the house with a baby, they're not gonna be there with you. They just go.
Y'all not gonna.
They coming for that wedding and that day.
That's it.
I think it's funny because it's like the hate for that person or that tribe is not really pointed to that person specifically.
Facts.
It's like they have some weird reason why they don't like that person or that tribe of people. It's like, oh yeah, your uncle from this, from back in the day, your uncle did this, and look at how she left him now.
No, stereotypes, or like look at like the Yoruba Igbo, beef. I mean, that stemmed from, real issues, Biafra War, but it's like, bro, nigga, grow up. Nigga. I wasn't alive back then. Damn near all y'all was like kids, you know what I'm saying, around that time. So why y'all now, 60 years later, still having that mindset? Like, no, we have to grow up. Like,
like, even though, like, I agree with Femi. If I make a choice as a man, as an adult male, I'm gonna probably stick to my guns and put my foot down and be like, my family got to be all right with it. You're still impacted by the values in your upbringing, right? Mm-hmm. So to some degree, it does impact you because it may affect your choice of mate in the first place, right? Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? Maybe your parents always said, this is just an example, right? But maybe your parents always said, oh, date Yoruba. So maybe you only reached a little bit out to Edra or Igbo, but you would never take a girl from, you know what I mean? I don't know, Senegal, Syria, or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm just throwing an example out. So it does impact you at the end of it, even though we probably would like to feel like we'll make our own decision.
I mean, and granted, our parents, for what they said, I'll shoot them some bail and say, it does make the relationship easier when you are dealing with someone of the same cultural background as you. There's not a lot of hand-holding and explaining to do about certain customs and certain things. But to me, ultimately, if that person is open and willing to accept and learn, then it shouldn't stop and hinder the process of that marriage.
Facts.
At least that's what I view.
Facts.
And I agree with you, Midi. I feel, yeah, of course it makes it easier. And I think that is something that I appreciate myself. Like, for example, I speak my language fluently. So it's like, I want somebody that I can speak to. So like when we raising kids, like we can both speak that language to our kids and that type of stuff.
I think we all have
store and I want to talk shit.
Facts though. I think we all have an inkling, like the tribalism, for the better or for the worse, more or less. But it all comes down to, that's at the end of the book, I have a call to action is what tribalism does, I'm, preparing a course right now, like the 6 curses of tribalism on the African culture is one of it is, in addition to like missed opportunities is that notion of not giving somebody an opportunity in the sense of, it judges a person by not, getting to know them on a personal level, only by their identity. If I meet, like Dr. Famdiza, for example, I'm like, yo, what's your name? He gives me, his English name. I don't know what your English name is, John.
I don't have one.
Like, oh, let's say, who got an American name?
Big Mike.
Exactly. And that's my point, right? And that's my point. That's exactly why we give, like each other that, African name. It's like if you meet somebody now and they say, oh, what's your name? Rose. No, what's your surname? So you want to know what tribe from Nigeria they're from, so if it's Adebayi or Adebayo, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to judge them by that, like that you've already begun your tribalism instinct, brother. It's like, okay, I'm not getting to know you on a deeper level. I want to know where you're from and know how I would relate with you. And so it has its, like positives, definitely has its negatives, but the course of action is let's get to know people first. Like the characters in this book, Giannis and Demi. Giannis is from Kenya and Demi is from, Nigeria. Yana's living in Baltimore, and Demi living in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Like the first time he met her parents, he didn't have that chance. You know what I'm saying? Like for them to get to know him, and that's what it is about. It's like, let me get to know you, and then all right, if you act, then okay, you know, we can, you know, pass the judgments and, you know what I'm saying, like walk away, as opposed to, okay, you're from there, you're from here, I'm not gonna give you a chance just based on that surface level.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I am somewhat familiar, but not 100% familiar. What type of tribalism do you experience, or have you experienced or seen within your own country, Cameroon? Because I know that there's
the deepest of the deepest.
I know there's a big difference between the Anglophones and the Francophones, depending on who you deal with, but I think that's just one of many. So you let me know.
Yeah, that's like the biggest right there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the white and black of racism that we find here in the West. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's really racism in Cameroon when it comes to Anglophone and Francophone, French, English. But tribalism in, you know, for example, there's a tribe called the Bayangi tribe in Cameroon. Growing up, bruh, if I meet a girl, that's the first question, where you from? If she said Bayangi, I'm running. Because they just had this stigma of just witch, you know what I'm saying? And like in the marriage home, they coming for all your checkbooks. They just had like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just stuff that our parents, aunties, like, don't bring no Bayangi girl to this house. And to this day, you know what I'm saying? Like it's still, some of it is still in me. It's like, I meet a shorty, she from Bayangi. I'm like, she could be bad as I don't know what. Is she from there? I'm judging. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't want to try that?
Bro, you drove my mess around and fall off. That's the stories we heard growing up.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of the stories, I mean, some of it is facts in terms of like, you know, like certain towns or tribes are known for certain practices or rituals or whatever, right? But the far away that we are from those days is the farther we are away, you know, from those practices and those rituals. But of course, like maybe that girl, she probably may be oblivious to it, but maybe her grandmother or great aunt is still into the shits. Therefore, your peoples are like, yo, stay away from that Bayangi gal because
they finna pass soon.
Yeah, not facts. It's even like, you know what I'm saying, like you know, you're funny as a mug, bro. And that's the Southwest, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from the Northwest Cameroon. And so, like, let's take out the Francophones, you know what I'm saying? Like, just in the Anglophone region, you got the Southwest and the Northwest. So the Northwest, we're like, you better not date or marry no girl from the Southwest because they spoiled, they're brats, they're bougie. And then the Southwesterners are like, people from the Northwest, we're bush. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're country, you know what I'm saying? So it's that tribalism, man, you know what I'm saying? It's even in the West, even here, you know what I'm saying? It's still, you go to the club, it manifests and shows its ugly face here. It's across the pond. It's just.
But
that's so interesting.
The thing that the Francophone and Anglophone thing blows me so much because people are choosing to identify with their colonizers and the language of their colonizers than to identify with their African brother based on the roots that person is from. So it's like, that just blows me so much.
Yeah, man. It's like, you know, I can't even be, it's like a whole different pod, but, you know, I would just say this to my Francophone brothers and sisters. I love y'all, but y'all need to calm down.
All right. Well, I know it was a little heavy, but I wanted just to, you know, at least bring some attention to it. So hopefully, you know, maybe one of the people that do decide to listen from Cameroon, or somebody decide to listen, you know what I'm saying, you know, want to come on one day and have a conversation about it. Now, I want to get back to the book. Now, without the details of the book, but in terms of writing the book, right? You're a writer, you're an artist, and all that. So, how does an artist go from, because I'm pretty sure you did this in music, you had to have some trusted ears before you know, take criticism and all of that. But how does one writing a book that's pretty near and dear to their heart allow someone to assist them with the editing and then release?
Yeah, man. It was definitely a hard process, man. I think, it's, just like with this podcast, when it's done and y'all edit and put it out, it's fulfilling. And I always tell, so like a lot of writers, I'm mentoring 2 writers right now. I tell them, if you don't write at least 20 minutes a day, you're in a real writer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely need accountability partners too, to be able to accomplish that. And so whether it's just a paragraph or a sentence, you definitely got to put pen to paper every single day. And having the manuscript ready is the number one step. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even got to post, I'm writing a book, or, like celebrate any kind of wins. If you don't have at least draft 2 of the manuscript ready, you begin the process. And once that is ready though, once you have like draft 2, and draft 2 is really like when you've read through it, like you've written the last of the last, and you've read through it, you're like, okay, the plot is cohesive, it makes sense. Then you're like, all right, cool. It's just about, a matter of, like using platforms like Reedsy if you want to self-publish. And I was talking about it with, like shout out to Fam Diesel, to find like an editor, or to find, like a graphic designer, just about whatever you need to find in the, publishing realm. But I tell you, man, it's one of the hardest, it is the hardest thing I've done in my life. I'm 28 years old. Writing this book is the most difficult thing I've ever done. Bro, once this book finally hit the shelves, May 5th of this year, 2020, I cried. But it definitely took accountability partners and hours of research. I've read books upon books upon books upon books of reading. I read about 12 books in total. Read about 50 articles, watched about, I want to say 1,000 hours worth of YouTube videos to be able to do this book, self-publish it. Because I went a self-published route. I didn't want to go traditional. So there's 2 differences right there. So, but yeah, it's a beast, but I'm glad it's out. And what I'm saying, I'm just gonna plug it right now. If you want to support it, go on Amazon. There's no such thing as halfway, or you can go on my website, iamreflex.com, get a signed copy.
Brother Riflex, so you wouldn't suggest going to Fiverr for a graphic designer?
I would, Fiverr is dope. I would say Fiverr is like, I read a funny quote on Twitter the other day. I forget it, but I would stick with Reedsy just because they are more so catered towards just books. Fiverr is more so like, like
flyers.
Yeah, like Fiverr is like like you want to make a Tesla car, and then you go, it's a bad analogy, like Fiverr is like the $5 version of Tesla when it comes to, like I don't know, that's a bad analogy, but I would stick with Reedsy. If you find something dope on Fiverr, definitely, but Reedsy is not cutting me a check by any stretch, but I found some dope stuff on there. But if you want to, I know for you, for fight, you want to stick with a black, like only, I didn't find too many black,
No, that's my issue with Reedsy. Like I told you, I reached out to a black editor, and the dude turned me down. He said, it's not enough time. I said, damn.
Yeah, it's a lot of people writing right now.
For because you like on the site, you tell them like, yo, you give them like a time frame of when you would like the work, to be done.
Yeah.
And the dude denied me. And he's the only black guy that I found on there.
There's a couple black women. One from that I found on there. So I don't know what their schedule's like. But I was fortunate, man. My editor, she lives in Toronto, and it was clutch. It was just before, it was like October last year. And her schedule was wide open, and she had just had a baby, so she was looking for gigs. So she gave me a sweet deal, and it was just me and her. So I was hitting her up like every day. So you can definitely find some steals on there depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah, I would continue.
I see. So I see that also. I don't know if this is in the same line of what you and Fem were just talking about. But you posted something in terms of human rejection can be God's divine protection, and then the picture you showed a letter of someone saying they can't publish your piece.
Man.
What was the significance of posting that?
Man, it's like, especially with when you go the self-publishing route, you're doing everything yourself. I mean, I have I have a agent, Daphne. Shout out to Daphne. She helps me out with a lot of stuff.
That's who we emailed. Because I was confused. I'm like, Riflex, I don't know if you forgot your name or you just wanted to give us
You said that's your agent?
Yeah. She's like, she helps out, some with like, sending emails like that out, booking, podcasts and different things like that. But yeah, we just talk directly because y'all my boys. But the traditional route is they give you an advance, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars of advance or millions of dollars of advance, and they handle all that stuff as far as like booking, like putting your book on the blogs and getting reviews and all that other stuff. But if you go to the non-traditional route, which is self-publishing, you got to do all that legwork yourself. And, like me and Daphne be hitting up people, man, like every day. Like today, I've sent out emails. And, like you can send out 10, I'm just going to put a number. You can send out 10 emails and 5 people will actually respond and 2 people will actually want to carry the book, whether it's talk about it on their YouTube, vlog, or actually write a review on their blog or repost it on their 100,000 of followers on the gram. And the rest, I forgot my math. The rest 6 or 7 will be like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to, the gram is all, people only come there to post their successes, but I just wanted to, like share my losses too. And I've had a lot of losses. I have them every day, like blogs and, reviewers. I'm like, yo, if I land this joint, that's at least 50 books I'm selling. And they'll just hit you, but I'm sorry. It's not, I'm just like, dang. So, there's a lot of that, but like you just got to keep your head up, keep moving. Like people go into the writing realm. It's like, I'm about to sell books. I'm about to hit all kind of #1 lists and I'm about to make buku money. You gonna make money. You gonna, have your wins, but it's going to be disappointing on a lot of levels. And you just got to, I just wanted to post that just to remind myself to stay humble and also just to, like encourage other people out there that are going into it.
And what's the biggest advance that that maybe somebody has gotten, man? Because I need that advance, baby. I need that advance.
Man, shout out to Mbella Boy. She's a Cameroonian author. Like she's one of the people that made me like said, man, I'm finally writing my book. And this is facts. She is the only Black author, female, who has gotten $1 million advance. Her book, Behold the Dreamers, it went New York bestseller, and she's published with Penguin Random House. If your book got a little penguin on it, bro, you
y'all know how many books we see with that penguin joint?
Yeah, if your book got that penguin on it, you definitely eat. But yeah, she got $1 million, bro, and she had never published before. It's just like, if your book got a strong enough, story, and it's based, and it's something that they feel like the market needs, then they'll definitely give you that bread. But I wanted all the bread. Right now, my voice is hurting. I'm actually turning down, interviews right now because I'm losing my voice because I'm actually recording the audio book right now, and I want to keep 100% of everything that I make, from audio book to paperback to, like the classes that I'm going to teach, everything. So that's why I didn't go the traditional route. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to get, $300,000, which is like, some advance that some people get, but, I can, and I'm not bragging or anything, but I've broken even and made profit at this point. So I'm blessed and I'm grateful to God.
Self-made, bro. Self-made, man.
Yeah, man. We thank God. Yeah, we thank God, bro.
Okay. So I wanted to get into something else before we circle back on the book, because I know we're gonna circle back on the book.
Yeah.
Help my mother out.
So last time we spoke, I believe we spoke in the Stuck in the Middle, or was it on our platform? I don't remember, either or.
Yeah, that was theirs. I think you and I went to their studio.
Yeah. And you told us that you were.
I know what you about to do.
Were 5 years celibate.
Yeah, bro.
That was two years ago.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Still going strong. I've had some times, bro, like where I'm like, man, I'm about to. But yeah, still going strong, man. But I'm seeing a beautiful. Shout out to Kellen, babe. I love you, man. I can't wait till you are going to get the best of me when we finally. But yeah, man, I'm still going strong.
Oh, you got a girlfriend now.
Yeah, man, it's going strong too. You know what I'm saying? This is
How long
this
y'all
is
been?
we've been together 9 months. 9 months, yeah.
Are you in love? Avec
Is
classé.
this
I'm in
a
love,
long distance love or is this close distance?
Nah, this is proximity. This is proximity. Yeah,
Which
makes it, you know what I'm saying, like which makes it dope because the family, you know what I'm saying, talking about tribalism, family supports it and definitely 100% behind it, you know what I'm saying? So there's that discipline, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know what I'm saying? I ain't about to risk it. But I told her like,
from the same tribe too?
Nah, she's not. She's not, but she's Cameroonian though. She's Cameroonian. But I told her, I said, look, you cannot judge me on the first 3 times. You got to give me a pass on the first 3 times, cause
Why?
that's all this years of releasing. So you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let's back a little bit and let's talk about the genesis as to why
that just flew over some people's heads. Y'all get it? You know?
I had that song.
No.
Hey, I'm with you. That's real.
But can we go back to the genesis as to why you are on this celibate journey?
It's religious reasons, bro. I'm a believer in Christ. You know what I'm saying? It's just I believe in. It's funny because being Femme Diesel, we were talking about polygamy on the couch talk the other day. That show was wild, bro.
We just had that talk. Where was that? That was Thursday, right?
Yeah, that was Thursday. It was wild, bro. But yeah, I go peep that. But yeah, it's just a journey that I've been on since 2011. I ain't perfect, you know what I'm saying? Like I definitely, you know what I'm saying, have had, you know, a moment or two where I felt, but you know, by God's grace, man, I've been going strong and
your flesh is weak.
That flesh is weak, bro, but the spirit is willing. I have other vices, you know what I'm saying, that I struggle with, but you know, it's easy. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying, like sex is it'll happen when it happens in the right time is marriage. So it's really just I just believe in, you know, the creator created it to be enjoyed within the confines of a wedding bed. So that's really all there is to that. It's nothing special at all.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I actually like how honest you are about that because, you know, so just because it's not the norm. You know,
yeah, nah.
And then on top,
I ain't gonna lie, couldn't be me.
You've gone more than a few years.
He said it couldn't be me. Nah, for real, bro. It's hard, man.
You and it's not like, you know, it's been a year or so. This is now what, 7? We're going on 8.
Yeah. It's been a handful in plus years. Yeah.
When you had the Lord on your side.
I did a year's bid, man.
He said, why'd you do it?
Oh, I did a year's bid just to, you know, get my life together. My life is great now.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to control. Sometimes you just got to cleanse your spirit, bro.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Sometimes you just got to get away from women and just be like, you know, figure out what you want to do.
Facts.
How you want to approach life. Change your mindset.
And, and women, get away from men.
Yeah. It's like Rocky said, man. He never had sex before a fight. They said why? He said because it makes the knees weak. You know what I mean? So you got to get away from women. You know what I'm saying? To get your mind right. What are you getting? You know what I'm saying? Like you try to get a bag or finish a book, like my man Femme Diesel is doing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say stop now, bro. You can finish your book. Why your business? But you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What's said that, bro? You getting paid or getting laid? When you get one.
The other is getting away. It's time I take up my mind.
Yeah, that's
those things in my life.
Yeah,
that song is dope, though, right? But just even at the practical level, right? It's about focus, right?
Yeah.
Energy, pouring your energy into something and all that. So,
yeah, facts.
And it's discipline. Discipline goes involved into it as well.
Stuff just habit, man. You know, like I can stick to something. I can, you know, say, you know, I'm making this choice, this decision. You know what I mean?
I think it helps out in relationships too. You know what I'm saying? Like you get to know the person on the deep, because I think sex clouds judgment. You know what I'm saying? Like you meet somebody, y'all kick it off, you have sex in 2 months, and you know what I'm saying? Like you don't really know them in a deeper level. So you know what I'm saying? Without it, I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, like do it. This is me. Like this is me. You can do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Like that's between you and your life.
It forces you to find something that brings you guys together that's not just the sexual and the physical.
That's what I was trying to say.
You have to have more than those things.
Facts. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
So that's like the show Love. And I know this is on a completely different.
Love is blind.
Where they were
That
like,
show is fake, dog.
I agree with that totally. But when they like spend a couple weeks and get to know someone without even seeing what they look like, right? Develop a deeper bond. I know that show, the premise was very different. Reflects Jenny, but you know, it's a similar concept, right? How deep can you go? Like what connects you to someone? How organic is this feeling?
Then they flipped the script and had another show where you gotta have sex or something like that for $800,000 or something like that.
I don't watch this. I don't look.
But you can DM me. It's not that show because I have. That's another one where it was something similar. Like you couldn't have sex, and they put like attractive people together, and it was like you couldn't have sex, or you lose money or something.
Yeah, the longer you go, you lose or gain money, something like that.
Yeah. Those shows are not my cup of tea.
Yeah, they're not.
So, not to like dig too much into your personal life, but you know, with the celibacy path, is that one of your like very first conversation that you have with a young lady when it comes to y'all are like y'all have agreed, yeah, we like each other?
Yeah, for me, man, dating is like the first date is an interview. Like for me, it's like, yo, where's your credit score? You know what I'm saying? Like how much debt you got? Christ. Well, how much debt you got? How do you plan on paying it? Are you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I'm celibate. What's your mind on that? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you gonna distract my path from following Christ? You know, what is your relationship with it? You know, it's an interview for me, and I'm shooting. You talk about shooting shots, I'm shooting cannons. You know what I'm saying? Like, but definitely, it's one of those questions, and you know, you got to be aligned for sure, 100%. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm blessed that she definitely, you know, is compatible. Everything is aligned, and I'm happy, man. I'm a happy camper.
That's not. I feel like what he's saying is standard. That's not something you can glaze over, right? That's a very intentional decision for yourself, and you want to attract people attract like, right? Like I want to attract people that are of a similar mindset, on a similar understanding, on a similar journey, right? Like you wouldn't want like that. That's the correct weed out, right? That has to be something if you're very serious about it that you want to put on Front Street, right? Because I want people who are similar to me. So it's not weeding out; it's letting the right in, right? So,
yeah, no, for sure. It's work. Yeah.
All right, so before we get into some other stuff, the whole process, I know you kind of like dabbled it a little bit with getting the whole book process, but how long did it take you to write it, and what were like the steps that you had to go through?
Yeah, so it took 2.5 years. I started writing. So the story, you know what I'm saying, like it's something that I'm very familiar with. I interviewed a lot of people. I had a close confidant. Shout out to my boy Temidayo. He's Nigerian. He wrote the foreword, actually. I don't know if y'all know him. Temidayo, he's a short guy. Used to have.
Is he married?
Yeah, he wrote the foreword. Yeah. My guy Temi.
That's my guy.
Yeah. He wrote the foreword. So you know what I'm saying, like he was kind of like one of my accountability partners. Did you do this? Did you do that?
I got to.
He dude that married Comey's sister.
Yeah. So he was like one of my peoples, you know what I'm saying, like that, you know, definitely tapped into, to, you know what I'm saying, like hold me accountable. Then I have writers, you know, you read the excerpt, the blurb from Jason, my boy Jason. He's a legit writer and filmmaker. So I sat down with him throughout a couple of the drafts. He was stern. He was heavy on me, man. He was like, this sucks. This is all right.
I need a guy like him to tell me this sucks.
Yeah, bro. He definitely put the hammer down on me, and I'm grateful for it. You know, it made the book what it is right now. It definitely brought the book to life, and that took, you know what I'm saying, like I started October 2018. By February 2019, I had the first drive. I started meeting with them, and then I just let it sit. You know what I'm saying? I just let it sit, and then I got back to it after about 3 months, and then I started looking for, you know what I'm saying, like professionals. Graphic designers, editors, interior designers, and you know what I'm saying, started researching how to put this thing out there. And you know what I mean, like I also had to, because the book, like I said, is partially inspired by real life events. I had to make sure I don't get into no legal issues, down the road. So I had to make sure the people or the person who, is somewhat inspired the characters in the book, there's fictional characters in the book, was okay with, the overarching, what was said in the book. Not really to say, I would have cared whichever way, like if they said don't publish or whatever like that, but just say, hey, there's disclaimers and everything. I'm, just make sure like, that this is what is in it. But everything went well. And so we had to deal with that as well. And I did a lot of research and put a lot of money behind it. And I haven't, the book we launched May 5th. I haven't even began like promoting the book for real. And so that's one thing with book and music. With music is getting pumped out every Friday. You can only push music, depending on your clout, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. But with a book, I would say you got 2 years to push it. So right now I'm just focused on back home. And then I'm going to focus on, like the diaspora community. And I definitely want to touch the Asian and Indian community. I've spoken to some podcasts and, bloggers and YouTubers from the Asian community in the past like 2 weeks. And, the sales was good. So I definitely want to tap into that too. So
but how did you get in contact with them? Like I know you said that you in the beginning, you said that you wanted to, reach out to that community, but like, I'm not familiar with that community. So like, how did you find it? Like,
shout out
in the direction.
Shout out to my girl, man. Like, she supports the book 100%. Like, she's been awesome, man. Like, she's read the book on every stage, and I never asked her, like, she surprised me on my birthday the day the book dropped with like an interview with Kyle Hollis. He hosts a podcast, and he got so much clout. She just Googled it, like she just been helping out, like like just been helping. So she definitely brought that to my attention, like, yo, reach out to that community.
The power of a woman, a black
woman. Like a black
woman. That's what you need, family.
Facts, like, so I didn't even think about it too.
The Lord is my shepherd. Hamid.
So I didn't even think about it, because if you think about it, bro, like Indian community, when it comes to tribalism, they would not date a black bro. Like, yo, they would do business with you, but if their daughter starts messing with you, they will not, So it's like they like, and the younger generation, which is our generation, they're like the fam. It's like, yo, I'm gonna do what I want to do. So I'm like, yo, they need to read this book, because I'm with y'all. So, and the Asian community as well. So like,
India is so, because I've been in Sri Lanka, bro. Like diverse tribes, cultures, Punjab and
the Desis,
Tamil tigers, and all, like, there's so many, like, they're so diverse, right? Like, India has issues with Pakistan, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. India within has issues, and then they have the classism, which is baked into it also.
Yeah.
And, ethnic groups are obviously like higher on the scale and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think at the surface level of the core concept, that doesn't make logical sense.
Yeah, so yeah, she's been awesome like that. But
does she have any sisters for Hamid Shegumaru?
A sister is you got to have a lot of money.
Hamid Shegumaru.
She said, "Hi, I trust you, my brother. You are living in California, so your bank account is heavy loaded."
Yes,
she will drain you dry.
I'm not saying nothing.
Hamid lives in a city that I ain't even been to before. Let that
Hamid Shegumaru.
Facts, bro.
I'm trying to let that sink in, son. I have to listen to like, dang, they just
bro. Hamid lives in a city that I gotta save up to, bro.
Reflex. You may want to do the hookup.
Quick, because I know quick is more drinks.
No, I mean, I didn't want to get it going, leave that to go into some sad news, but y'all seen what's been going on.
Oh, I was asking him a question, my brother. I was asking him a question when I said,
yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, like, so how did, like, for the listeners out there, like, how do you get it started? Like, how do you jumpstart? Because I'm sure that's something a lot of people have thought of, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you hear about writing a book, writing whatever, you always hear about writer's block, right?
Mm-hmm.
You always think back to when you had to write that 6-page paper in school.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first experience of your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you like really, I mean, jumpstart like, yo, I'm revving up. Next thing I know, I got 100 pages written or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever. Like, how do you really get going and combat that feeling and stuff like that?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't really start until you really just start writing. And like I said earlier, you ain't writing until you write at least 20 minutes a day, right? And it really, I'm mentoring 2 people right now, and I tell them, man, like, you gotta write when nobody's willing to write. You know what I mean? Like, and it comes with a lot of discipline. I was writing at 4 a.m. and 2 a.m. Like 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. That was when I was writing. People sleep because it was just like, that's when inspiration was just like good. You know what I'm saying? So definitely just, you know what I'm saying, like find a story, you know what I'm saying, like that. I read this meme the other day. One doesn't simply write a book. One writes a book that wants to be written. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to find something that, and this is the hard part, is finding that inspiration, but it is in there. It is in there. And, you know, there's a story in you that somebody wants to hear, somebody wants to read. And this is what did it for me. When I found out how many people love to read, bro, it was like, yo, there's just so much in this market. And then I read another thing on Instagram of how much, for me, it's different with different people. I know I'm all over the place right now because there's just so many motivation factors. And I'm just saying all of it right now. For me, it just really was as easy as the relevance of the story and the need for it to be told, the different streams of income, and also how easy it was for me. So for different people, it's just really just, you know, finally inspiring somebody, putting out, you know, a how-to book, helping somebody else. Or for Fem Diesel, you know, you putting out a book on mental health and relationships. I don't really know what it's about, but that's something that's gonna educate a lot of people because you have that, you know, like expertise, and you're coming from a real place. So somebody is going to read that book. There's so many readers out here, bro. You just really gotta tap into that. And I also just knowing that, man,
my mom's
that feeling of
top 10.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, my mom stayed up to 1 a.m. reading my book.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and there's really a lot of support out here for books. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, just put the pen to paper. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, last thing I'll say on that is, I don't believe in writer's block. I believe in writer's fatigue. You know what I'm saying? Like, walk away from it, it's okay, but come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, go, you know what I'm saying? Like, have a Henny, or, you know what I'm saying, play 2K, or, you know what I'm saying? Do what you do, but then come back.
Or
and
find yourself a nice lady to.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, but then come back to it. You feel me?
I mean,
it's all entertainment, man. It's all entertainment.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then come back to it. You know what I'm saying? But have a deadline, though. I think, you know, so when you said that deadline was what did it. I was just free writing. I was like, all right. And then time was just going until one day I was like, my 28th birthday, May 5th, 2020, this book must be out. And then the day was inching close, and I was like, oh, crap. I ain't did this. And I just found myself just being disciplined and doing stuff. So when you set that deadline, you're going to make it happen.
Real. Respect. So I'm going to change gears a little bit, talk about our good brother, Colin Kaepernick.
Shout out to that Netflix deal, or however much that is, bro.
Yeah, I think he got two separate things happening. And I'm gonna read just a little bit. Shout out to the Shade Room for that information. It says that although he still isn't playing in the NFL, Colin Kaepernick is making major moves off the field. In a huge announcement, it was just confirmed that Colin Kaepernick has signed a first look production deal with Disney. Variety Sports says that Disney has announced an official first look production deal with Colin Kaepernick through Raw Vision Media Company. That nobody cares about all of that. This will be the first project from the collaboration where a docu-series from ESPN films about Colin's journey from celebrated San Francisco 49er quarterback to modern-day civil rights leader. The new series will incorporate new interviews and never before seen footage documenting the recent years of his life. Jamel Hill, who previously worked for both ESPN and Undefeated, is also producer on this project. So my immediate thoughts on this was like, finally, because I think even though I respect what Colin has done, and it's unfortunate all the scrutiny he's gone through, as someone who wants him back in the NFL, just because, you know, I know football is his love, clearly. I think it's been unfortunate that we haven't been able to hear from him.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's been. I am a big proponent of working in silence, and just doing your due diligence in silence, and just keep working and moving. But at some point, people got to hear from you, and I think it's about time that we heard from him. And this is
Facts.
One of the best things that he could do. And in a day and age where literally he looks like a prophet, I think it's time to choose. I think it's time to choose.
He's been quiet, but he did say one thing. He called 4th of July a white supremacist celebration.
I mean, Cap has always been, whether he tweet here and there or, he does his know your rights stuff. I mean, bro, he doing what he doing in his own lane, man. He ain't.
That's what I said. I don't have an issue with him working in silence. I'm a big proponent of working in silence, but I'm just saying in terms of speaking, like, because for example, right, the last time I think he mentioned that he wants to play football was when the NFL did the trials thing for him. But prior to that, it was almost like it's almost like everybody's assuming you want to play football, or people are assuming that you don't want to play football and that you want to be on the front lines. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people stop watching football because of what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like me.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So it's almost like, okay, if you let your intentions be known that I'm trying to play and they blackballing me, then people. Okay, now that let's say he does come back, are the people that said they're not watching football no more gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
if he spoke, then it'd be like, okay, yeah.
But that was
where you stand.
That was last NFL season when that trial happened. That happened like November, December. So that was literally a few months ago. You know what I'm saying? So like if the man came try out November, December, another season hasn't been played since. This will be the first one that if it happens due to this Rona, you know what I'm saying? So why should they assume he don't want to play football no more if you
man, you think he really like
I know. I'm just saying it should come out of his mouth though.
Right.
But I mean, if he showed up to that tryout and he been trying to play for the last 3-4 years, why would y'all assume he don't want to play them?
I'm not assuming. I'm just talking about pundits.
I'm
just talking about what's circulating and what's being said in sports media. Everybody's indifferent because look.
Like J.R. Smith, for example.
He know for
J.R. Smith was only out of the league for a year though.
But we never heard him say, "Yo, bring me back." You know what I'm saying? But we assumed that J.R. won a hoop, and then now this Rona, people sitting out.
Well, actually, I think that's kind of like comparing apples to oranges because J.R. was technically on the decline of his career, and he made the biggest blow in NBA Finals history.
But he's still better than.
But the reason why I'm saying this is apples to oranges is because there was no justifiable reason why he couldn't be a starter on anybody else's team. There were people you were getting people from indoor football leagues to be quarterbacks instead of him, who's a viable option. You're not calling him as a viable option. You understand what I'm saying? It's not. I don't know for a fact. I don't know for a fact. Maybe J.R. Smith got asked to try out before the season even started, and he just didn't make the cut. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't know that. But Collins is so magnified. It's almost like, damn, Joe. Like he's like this. He's telling people like, no, nobody's called my agent, nobody's called my lawyer, nobody's called me. You know what I'm saying, to follow up or anything like that. So it's almost like, all right, yeah, he's saying that he wants to play, but or we're assuming he wants to play, but he's not saying anything. That's the known narrative, bro. Not like I'm making it up and pulling on my ass.
The leagues is politics. So, like you see, like for example, if I'm not gonna spend too much time on basketball, but like basketball, like each year you bringing in new young blood. Literally these 19, 20, 21. So they're the ones that you value over the J.R. Smiths. Not saying that they can't play. They still can play. But it's like, bruh, we banking on the potential of this young person than this person that we already kind of know what to expect. So with like Cap, it's like, each year too that you bringing in new young blood. Like now we at the point where look at Cam Newton. Literally,
Yeah.
he just got a job, right? Because it's all these teams got young QBs. Like, look at the Jets.
That's another discussion too, because like that money they gave him compared to what some of this, you know what I'm saying, other
Thank
white
you, bruh.
QBs making, it's like, bro, like that's a league MVP right there, man.
You got
Kirk Cousins making bank and
you
shit.
got Chase Daniel, who's only threw like 5 passes in the last how many years? This dude gets $5 million a year, bro.
Facts.
And Cam Newton makes like $1 million a year.
Bro,
He gotta earn the rest of his money.
they're making 500,000 a year. You gotta earn the other 500,000.
Bro, what? Like, just let that sink. Jameis Winston, the same thing. This man Jameis threw 30 TDs last year.
Jameis gets the worst deal of all, bro.
Like, come on, bro.
People dismiss him so much.
Compare
his numbers to comparable quarterbacks, ones that are playing on teams that suck, that have had different old coordinators every year. And, like, why is it that bad? Look at Peyton Manning, Andrew,
exactly.
all of them.
You know what I'm saying?
And they didn't even throw his amount of TDs, but they're throwing picks out of the wazoo.
So,
right.
so think about that. They doing that to them brothers, you know, and that's not kneeling or nothing. So you know this Cap stuff is because he kneeling and he a brother. Come on, man. Look what they doing to these. Cam was MVP 5 years ago, Super Bowl, and he making what backup is making like times 10 what Cam is making, bruh. A backup, not even a backup that plays though. I'm talking a backup that don't play.
Yo, Jameis never had a running back, never had a defense. Like, do you understand? He gets the ball in the horrible situations and can't run. It's so crazy to me. I really laughed at myself. Yo. I'm like, okay.
I mean, I just want to hear from Cap. That's all. I just want to hear where his head at, where his mind at.
I need you to go to
not just football. Just
go to his know your rights camp, bruh.
I do go to that, but I'm saying there's a difference between reading what's going on, but hearing your initiatives and your agendas and your plans. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can read it, cool, but in this day and age, as much as we like to read, we like to hear from our people. Imagine us just writing our podcast the entire time and just fall in love with it. Nah, we come on here, and on top of that, now we're giving them the Zoom so they have dual recognition of us, not just solely audio. You understand what I'm saying? So like, I think we as people who have supported him, you know what I'm saying? It's good to hear from. It'll be good to hear from him, just to hear what he has to say. Like, here, he got
Netflix special coming out. You gonna hear from him,
bro? That's what we're saying. The same thing. You're just trying to argue with me.
I'm not, but I'm telling you, because this the narrative that they say on the TV to try to. I'm not saying you doing this, but this is what those people that try to like water down what he does talk. He doesn't talk when you want him to talk, but he talks. Like, you know what I'm saying? He put out messages when he wants to put out. He didn't say, yo, I'm about to be the savior of the black people. He didn't say I'm about to be the next activist to be like MLK or Malcolm X or whoever. He's just doing his thing. He's taking his stance. Even when he took his stance, he didn't want it to be what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just what transpired afterwards. So I'm just saying, like, for y'all, he said from jump, he wanted to keep playing football, blackballed him. So like, what he's giving y'all is what he's giving y'all. That's what you're gonna get.
Look, if you try all at the babe and that babe curves you, you know what I'm saying? 3, 4, 5 years later, I need to go out a public statement that I'm trying to holler. I'm not. Like, he said enough, man.
I think at this point, Cap, you know, in the whole NFL, like, he just need to move on and do what he got to do. Like, the Cap returning to the NFL thing, it's like, all right, cool, like, whatever now at this point.
So, I mean, but they have an agent system. So if a team wants to know, the team can reach out. If not, like, it's not. He don't have to. He said everything he says public. He has made the loudest statements publicly a football player has ever made. And get for that, criticize, right? So. Bro, I'm tired. Like, these racist dudes can just F off.
Like, bro, I remember when
who I want to hear from is the NFL, though. Like, they got to do a formal apology and reparations to Cap. Yeah, like, I want to hear from the NFL more than I want to hear from Cap himself.
They're not going to do it. Bro, I remember y'all know I used to support the Cowboys. Vinny Testaverde, bruh. I remember this dude he was like 42, 44. You know what I'm saying? But he had retired for like 2 years. I forgot who got hurt. They call that dude literally. He started the game like literally 2-3 days after they called him to come play. Bruh, they do this to these NFL. Jason Witten, dude was retired. Jay Cutler. You know, like, so you telling me they can't just hit up Cap? Hey, Cap, we want you to come do this, bruh. Y'all got dudes that's coming to play quarterback literally 2 to 3 days after y'all signed him, after the nigga been retired for 2 to 3 years, and he was 44. And you telling me a young athletic Cap, y'all can't call him up if y'all want to inquire? Man,
I mean, the kicker different though. Kicker only got.
Nah, we're talking a quarterback, bro. Vinny Testaverde.
Quarterback.
Wasn't he a kicker?
Nice.
A quarterback. And he was like 40
Who was the kicker?
You thinking about Vinatieri? You think about Vinatieri?
Yeah, Vinatieri.
Okay, that's who I thought you was talking about.
Bro, I'm gonna Google it, man, just to find it. I was so flabbergasted. I'm like, damn, dude came out literally fresh from being on the couch to starting a football game at quarterback.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I got a raw deal. We know what it is. The owners admitted. They were like, yeah, we thought it would be bad for business. So
yeah, it's what it is. They're making money. I ain't.
I'm glad he's gonna get these big deals. Like, go ahead, quick.
No, I was gonna say, you gotta stop watching and supporting it, man.
You don't watch
That's
NFL?
The NFL, man. I stopped watching, so
he did.
Yeah.
That's why I think Testaverde's a kicker. I ain't shading him. I'm like, yeah, well, it's on brand. Do you think, homie?
Yep. I found it.
Yeah, man. We all about to watch NASCAR, man. NASCAR do more moves than the NFL, bro.
But we not watching NASCAR either.
Shout out to Buffalo, man. You know, that situation was crazy. Did y'all see that news?
Bro.
I saw the news.
And they tried to say it wasn't a news.
Even Trump tried to make him retire. I mean, I said retire. I apologize.
Yeah, but it wasn't even him that blew the situation.
Yeah, it was
exactly.
It was others. It was others that Richard Petty and all them that blew it up when they came in as a show of support because they were trying to make NASCAR look like we're on board with this
exactly
responsible movement. This is the thing. It's not on Bubba. Bubba, like, yo, people crazy, dog. Like,
it's not. He's not even the one that saw the news or called it in.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I would think, oh, Bubba he didn't do it. He just reacted to something that he was told in a picture that he was showed. So why would y'all try to pin it on him?
Yeah.
It's a lose-lose, man, when you're a black man out here, bro.
Unfortunately. But you about to round it up, fellas. Anything else? Anything before we get out of here? Y'all got that y'all want.
Yeah, man. Y'all go by, you know what I'm saying? All the listeners watching. I know y'all got a lot of pretty ladies watching. Go support the book. I am Riflex.com.
Hey, Riflex.
That's stigma.
Hey, go and buy a brother's book. Oh, please. I need at least if all hundreds of you people go and buy this book now. You will support a young brother's dream. So go on Amazon. The book is called No Such Thing as Halfway. It's awesome. Purchase it. Tell your mama and your ex-boyfriends to purchase a copy. Appreciate it.
I'm a copy tonight, bro.
Thank you so much.
When does the audiobook release?
So by the end of this month, July, I will have the audiobook ready and out for enjoyment pleasures. But go and purchase a paperback so you can have it in your library. So yeah.
Reflex, before we started recording, we were talking about African scams, Cash App scams.
Of course.
And you were telling us an interesting story about somebody that recent.
Yeah, bro. Man, I tell you, man, it's like without people, it's crazy. I had this dude, and I know the homie. That's the crazy part about it, man. Like I know you, bro. Why are you doing this to me? So you know what I mean. Like one of the ways I have a website. through Wix, where I fulfill orders there. Where if you want a signed copy, you purchase it via my website, and I sign it and send it to you personal message. And homie ordered 10 copies, bro. I'm like, dang, like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is support, you know what I'm saying? Nobody has seen this before, but the day I was fulfilling a lot of orders. I must have fulfilled, close to 60 orders that day. And you bound to make mistakes. We're fallible as human beings. And when I looked, every order that I was fulfilling that day was just 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So when I got to his, I didn't really look at it. He put 10 books, but I only put 1 in the envelope, and I shipped it to him. You know what I'm saying? A couple of days later, he got the book. He was like, I thought I ordered 10 copies. I was like, oh, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, communicate encourages, you know what I'm saying? Like, customer service, all that. I'm like, oh, my bad. Let me go look at it, make sure, you know what I'm saying? I apologize for the inconvenience and misunderstanding. So I'm like, all right, my bad, cool. You pay for 10 books. I definitely see it here. It says 10, the money, $200, because on my website, it's $20 for signed copy. I packaged the 10 books in a box and everything, put his name. I go to the post office, and I'm like, you know what? Let me wait till the money hits first, because this is 10 books. This is $200. So I'm like, I'm going to go back home and hit him up, say, hey, I'm going to wait till the money clears. Then I'm going to send the book. 3 days, money and hit. 4 days, money and hit. A week, money and hit. I'm like, hey, bro. I'm like, all right, I'm just not going to hit him up. I hit him up twice already. So I let it go for like 2 weeks. Bro hit me, was like, hey, what kind of business you running over there? I'm trying to support, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ordered 10 books. Where's my books at? I'm like, bro, I apologize, man. You know what I'm saying? Customer service, just, send me a screenshot of your order and the invoice that we sent to you, and a screenshot of your bank's statement. Because, when you purchase your bank, he sent me a screenshot of his purchase and the invoice, but he couldn't produce a bank statement. So he was like, all right, my sister read the book, though. It's cool. Just keep it. I don't want no more book. I'm like, bro, you're not finna do that to me, man.
My God, he enjoyed it through his sister. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, bro, you're not finna do that to me, man. So I confronted him. I was like, bro, you literally just try to get, you know what I'm saying? You made a fraudulent purchase and withdrew the funds so I can send you books, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you can, I don't know, sell it for higher or do whatever. Like, why? He ain't responded since then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
I know homie too. Like, it's like, bro, like I confronted him so he can so I can yo, am I tripping? Like, is it literally just like a miscommunication or computer error and he just ain't respond? So yeah, man.
You should put him on blast.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's funny because like the homie is like, he's wild. Like he, they talk about revenge porn. Like he like he's just like his Instagram is just crazy. And people have put him on blast for that. And, I'm just, I'm at a point where should I do it so I can get like some clout my way? You know what I'm saying? Oh, they say, oh, publicity is publicity, but I'm not fit to get into that. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like confronting him and
now you gotta let people know who the creeps are and who to stay away from.
Yeah, man.
Bro. We got 2 platforms, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
we got blackballed as Bama.
The voice of the community is coming from your community. So
facts, bro. Facts. Facts. Al Cream. I see something now. I'm not gonna give you seat. Yeah, man. No, it's crazy, bro. Yeah. But yeah, it's like you gotta definitely, you know what I'm saying, like with business, it's either people patronize you or, you know what I'm saying, they try to scam you, but I know they do it on the grand schemes as well. Hush puppies out here, bro.
And so that's why the topic came up, just for the listeners. I was sharing a story that someone in our community once sent me a cash app for rendered services, and I got the money and whatever, and like maybe like a month later, I got like a notification from my cash app saying the bank disputed this, whatever, and the money went out of my bank account. Right?
Dang.
Not out of my cash app, from my bank account.
Sheesh.
Back to that person. So, be careful, man. Be smart out here.
Yeah, man. Be careful out here, bro.
Know who you doing business with.
For sure. Well, Reflex, you want to just give me your social so they know where to find you at, follow you, and where
sir.
to get it.
Plugs, man. Next live concert, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I am Riflex.com. I am Riflex on all social media platforms. IAMRIFLEX. If that's that's the quickest way to get updates. I'm definitely doing another stay-at-home concert very, very soon. So definitely follow me and stay tuned when I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be lit. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to it. So I appreciate y'all having me, man. This has been love, bro. It's always incredible kicking it with y'all. I'm like, my voice is hurting right now. I'm struggling.
We appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
when is
bro.
the next episode of My Baya? Wow.
Man, Lala and Frida, man, they do their thing. So I'm definitely I don't know when AK, he coordinates. I don't know if they drop Tuesdays, but I listen to their podcast. But Palm Wine Central, that's the one I stay away from.
Damn, wow, boy. I'm with you.
That's the crazy dudes, man.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, we out of here. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Africanist Pod. You can email us at africanistpodcast@gmail.com. We are out. We will catch you guys next week. Holla.
Yes, sir.
Cheers.